Well, it's stew season. We've got a unique Norwegian recipe for you today. We're cooking up a storm in the CI kitchen with meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Okay, I can't even pronounce what this is.
Yeah, try it.
Farikal.
It's supposed to be like farikal or something like that.
Farikal?
Farikal. It's Norwegian for lamb and cabbage stew. It is the national dish of Norway, actually. And this is a very common dish for the autumn season. You think about what happens in the autumn in Norway. Of course, lambs, harvesting lamb, and they're going into the processing, so they're getting fresh lamb meat.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're harvesting cabbage at the end of the summer and early fall. So it's like, I think 70% of people in Norway say they have eaten this at least once a year during the fall season, because when that's happening, you get the perfect dish here. A nice broth in there, and it doesn't need much flavor. That lamb's going to do a lot of talking with some of the broth, and some salt and pepper in there. I also made this dish because theoretically, my wife and I, as long as all have gone home, I got to be honest about this one. We're actually pre-recording this. This is a couple weeks ago. We actually are just getting back today, theoretically, from a trip to Norway. Yeah. Assuming travel goes well. So if you're watching this and all is good, we should be back by now, hopefully. We may stay there forever, though, but we're going to Norway for a little vacation.
It's so fun.
Trying all kinds of food, fun, and that's what inspired this dish.
I wonder if you'll be able to try this.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Still popular there. It's actually a little bit early in the season. Let me rephrase that, a little late in the season. Usually it's earlier in the autumn that this happens. End of summer, early autumn, and they're a little further to the north, so they've got some snow already up in parts of Norway that are a bit cooler and whatnot. But this recipe, the national dish of Norway, so I thought, hey, let's make some farikal.
Farikal.
Maybe when I come back, I'll be able to say it better.
Okay, so I'm not too familiar with cooking with lamb. I love lamb, but is it complicated to cook with? It
really isn't, no. Cooking with lamb is actually a pretty simple process. There's some meats where you cook with, and it can be really challenging. You think like veal and things like that. Oh, yeah. You can watch out. Bison can be a meat where you can overcook it very quickly. Lamb is a lot like beef to me. There's not much difference. In fact, if you have lamb, and you've had lamb before.
Yeah, I love lamb.
It almost tastes like beef that's just seasoned a little differently.
So true.
And you can kind of treat it that way. What I've done in here is we've treated it like beef stew meat. I've got a lamb shoulder, a couple of lamb shoulders that are in there. True classic farikal has layered with cabbage and lamb, and the lamb chunks are usually a bit bigger. Now, we don't have fresh lamb out the back door here like they do in Norway, but we kind of layer that in there with some broth, and the best part about it is you've got the lamb meat, just some salt, pepper, cabbage, and add some peppercorns in there, and then you can use water. However, water sometimes when you're making broth, you got to kind of start from the beginning of that. I'm going to boost it with some flavor with some beef broth in there as well, and so I'll add that. Then from there, one thing that often is served with farikal is it has the cabbage and the stew and the broth. It's also served with boiled potatoes on there. So I've got some boiled potatoes that are ready for that. This has been simmering low and slow about 4, 5, 6 hours or so. You do want to be careful with lamb, though. If you remember the beef bourguignon that I made, lamb actually can fall apart a little quicker if it's cooked too long. So you don't want to get more than 8 hours really when you're cooking in a crock pot with that, or it'll start to kind of fall apart because it's so tender. So if you want it to stay together a little bit, try and shoot for that 4, 5, 6 hours and low and slow. The other thing that I've done, and we'll have the video pop up here in a second, is I actually have seared the meat on the lamb, and you can see in the video we're searing that just like you would a beef or a steak or something like that. Hot pan, some oil, and you can see the meat there is searing. I put some salt and pepper on there, flipped it over, and let that done the work. That searing of the meat always gives it a little extra flavor. Basically, it puts a nice barrier where that flavor will be trapped in there, and that searing process is really popular in things like beef and whatnot, but really works out well with lamb meat as well. So that's all come together, and it's in the crock pot, and I think when we come back, I mean, you just smell. It's perfect for a warm.
Yes.
Jennifer Roscoe, she stopped by. She said it smelled like her great grandmother's house.
Great grandmother's house, and that's saying something. It does smell delicious in here.
Very good smell.
But the lamb is like a distinct smell.
It is. Yeah. When you have the cabbage, the salt and pepper in there, all in the stew.
Ooh, it smells. I am hungry. I'm ready to give this a try. We're gonna do that when we come back. Jacob, thank you. If you want the recipe, if you want to try making this at home, this is a really good winter staple to give a try. From the inspiration of Jacob's little vacation. But you can connect with Jacob there on his Facebook page. We'll also have the recipe over on our website, ciliving.tv.